Hey, what's happening? Well, B Marsh Boxing back at it with another post-fight review. This is a review of Ilunga Makabu versus Thabiso Mchunu. Ilunga Makabu, the WBC Cruiserweight Champion, versus the mandatory challenger Thabiso Mchunu. Now, this is a battle of two African fellas. Thabiso being from South Africa and Ilunga Makabu being from the Congo. And You know, this was a rematch of a fight. These two fought 6 years ago before either guy, well, before at least Makabu became a world champion. You know what I mean? But it's a very good fight. Two great clashes of styles. You know what I mean? The slick boxer in Thabiso Mchunu versus the stalking power puncher Ilunga Junior Makabu. And Makabu was stalking his opponent. I gave him the first round from pure aggression and pressure. You know what I mean? But Mchunu was a very slick operator in there, very cool, calm, and composed, just like he was in their very first fight 6 years ago, I believe, in like 2015. I mean, so them fellas, Mchunu was counterpunching. You know what I mean? Using a lot of slick moves. You know what I mean? Rather than being the volume of puncher, you know what I mean, with the high output, he was the counter puncher in there and timing his shots. You know what I mean? He had the quicker hands, you know, but he didn't want to risk throwing them punches in between and getting caught, even if he got the quicker hands than Ilunga Makabu. You know what I mean? He was catching him with some nice straight left hands and big right hooks. You know what I mean? These are two southpaws facing each other. Big right hooks. And the man Makabu ate them joints like Skittles, y'all. Them fellas, them joints didn't budge him. All throughout the fight, both guys were very well trained and conditioned. You know what I mean? And after 6 rounds, I had it 4-2. You know what I'm saying? I gave Ilunga Makabu the first round, rounds 2, 3, and 2, 3, and 4. I gave it um, Thabiso Mchunu, and the 6th round I gave it to the man Ilunga Makabu. You know what I mean? Now Ilunga Makabu in the second half of the fight after round 6, starts to pick up the aggression. Has the man Thabiso Mchunu on the ropes. Mchunu would have possibly the best punches in the fight, or the best punch in a round. Excuse me, but I couldn't give him rounds 7 and 8 and 9 because the man was just basically having one good punch, but he's getting outworked all throughout the round. You know what I mean? Some of these rounds were pretty close. Some of them were pretty hard to call. You know what I mean? But Makabu picked up the pace in the second half of the fight, and the man Machunu wasn't really counterpunching or being making him making he was making him miss. I'm not saying Makabu was landing all his punches, but he was making him miss, but he wasn't making him pay. You know what I mean? And Makabu was using his jab, tripling up his jab, sometimes four jabs. Just keeping the pressure, keeping his punch output high, and just comes down to whether you give the defense to the man Machunu, or the aggression by the man Ilunga Makabu. And then you also have to consider, is it effective aggression? You check it. So after 10 rounds, I had to fight 4 rounds to 6 in favor of the man Thabiso Mchunu. You know what I mean? Thabiso Mchunu was operating well. And round 11, I gave uh, I gave it to Ilunga Makabu, and I also gave round 12 to Ilunga Makabu. You know what I mean? So overall, I had this fight a draw. I had this fight a draw. Um, the judges saw it as a split decision. You know what I mean? Now, Boom Boom Mancini was calling this fight. This was a Don King promotion. The fight was in Warren, Ohio. Yeah, I mean, that's some auditorium or music hall they got over there in Warren, Ohio. You know, I was just waiting to see King Vision on the side of my TV screen. You know, it was very reminiscent of back in the day watching Don King cards. You know what I mean? My opinion, the greatest promoter of all time for the great cards he put on. The plethora of his stables was so thick, and fighters fought. You know what I mean? Um, the judges over there in Ohio had it 115, 113 in favor of Makabu. One judge had it 115, 113 in favor of Mchunu. Now the tiebreaker had it 116, 112, 8 rounds to four in favor of the man Ilunga Makabu. So Ilunga Makabu retains his title, but in real actuality, you know, I thought that this fight was a draw, or at best Thabiso Mchunu should have won this fight. He should have been crowned the new champion, you know what I mean? I didn't agree with that 116, 112 card. That was egregious, you know. If anybody won 8 rounds, it would be Mchunu. Even though I didn't think he won 8 rounds, but it definitely wasn't Ilunga Makabu, you know what I mean? He didn't look too good in this fight. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, you know, but he retains his title. He is the house fighter. He is the guy promoted by Don King, and he gets a W, and possibly he's in the sweepstakes. Both of these guys had everything to gain and everything to lose in this particular fight. With the sweepstakes, both whoever won this fight will possibly fight the man Canelo on Cinco de Mayo in May. You know, and Milongo Makabu retains his WBC cruiserweight strap, and he's put himself in the running, you know what I mean? So we shall see, you know. If he gets a fight, all well and great, you know. The African fighter gonna get paid. I ain't never mad at that. But really and truly, you know, Mchunu is a very good, slick fighter. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. The first fight he fought with the man, Ilunga Makabu, he was beating him comfortably till he got caught. I believe in like the 11th round, got caught with a big hook, and it was all she wrote. Yeah, I mean, got put to sleep, literally. You check it. Um, I've seen the man fight fellas like Alexander Usyk, and he was giving Usyk all kind of fits in the first half. You know what I mean? He was a little too slick for the man Alexander Usyk in the first half of that fight. Usyk said, "Fuck that shit, man." He's the taller fighter. Usyk, he's a guy who is now in the heavyweight division. He decided to say fuck the boxing shit and get in the mix and basically bully the man Mchunu, and he beat him off sheer will and strength. You know what I mean? Mchunu's a strong fighter, you know, but he has that kind of physique like a Joe Frazier or Matusad Muhammad, David too. I'm not saying he fights like him. I said he got a physique like these guys, short and stocky. You know what I mean? Short and stocky, but he's a very slick fighter. And I thought this fight was a draw and or possibly 7-5. I could see a 7-5 scorecard. I wouldn't be mad at that in favor of Mchunu winning this fight. Low blow champ, what the deal, man? What's going on with you, dogs? He said, I had a few dollars on Macabre, LOL. Other dude probably should have won, but some of those rounds were close. Absolutely. Some of those rounds were close because, like I said, you know, this fight right here was like a great clash of a boxer versus the puncher, you know. And there were some rounds where, you know, the man Mchunu wasn't making the man pay. But if you seen the fight like I've seen Low Blow, you seen them big right hooks and big left hands, big one punches the man Macabre got hit with, and he ate them joints, man. He ate them joints. And that probably deterred the man Mchunu for trying to go in and let his hands go because he thought and he saw and he felt he couldn't hurt this guy. Low Blow Champ says Macabre was solid, but Canelo will beat him easy. LOL. I wonder if Canelo could stop him though. I believe Canelo could stop him. I mean Tony Bellew did. I believe Tony Bellew did. I seen the fight. It was on a Sunday. I remember that shit. Great atmosphere over there in that Everton Stadium, where Tony Bellew is a hometown fan of Everton. Fought in that stadium just like that movie called Creed. You know what I mean? And it was a great Sunday. I remember that shit. Sweet Pea fan 12 salute. He says real fight, huh? When Conceição versus Martinez starting? Real close. Yeah. I'm watching Martinez and Conceição right now. It's in the eighth round. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I didn't watch the fight from the beginning. I caught it in like the sixth round because I was watching that cruiserweight title fight. But in all actuality, that fight, just like Ray Ben Boom Boom Mancini was saying, that fight should have been in South Africa, man. Ilunga Makabu'S was based in South Africa. Thabiso Mchunu is from South Africa. Maybe then Don King didn't want to have that fight over there in South Africa because if Mchunu won and got the decision, he wouldn't get robbed in his own home country. You know what I mean? So maybe that's why Don King had it in neutral ground, but in Warren, Ohio, of all places. But really and truly, he would have made a killing as far as making that money at a live gate in South Africa. That fight could have been in a soccer stadium. And that's just real talk. You know what I mean? You know, boxing is big in South Africa. Even Nelson Mandela was an amateur boxer. East London, you don't know how many world champions South Africa has produced. Numerous, numerous. You know what I mean? So, hey man, Don King dropped the ball on that one, man. But nevertheless, this was Don King's second card in as many years. Hasn't been really active. His last card was in 2021, January of 2021, when it was a card with what's his name, Trevor Bryant, the WBA regular champ, or the Reggie champ as I like to call him, versus Bermane Stiverne, and he stopped him late. You know what I mean? So, and that was actually the last time Trevor Bryant fought before the night. He fought the night. I wasn't gonna cover that fight because that guy he fought, man, he should have knocked him out. You know what I mean? So he's not very active, and neither is Don King promoting, but it was good to watch a Don King card, man. Felt like I was watching boxing back in the day. Big ups to everybody in the chat. Shout out to y'all. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up. Salute to Sweet P Fan, Low Blow Champ. Leave your thoughts and comments and let me know who you guys thought won this fight. All right, I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm gone. Peace.